What's going on, ladies and gents? Dishwish here bringing you guys today some more Rainbow Six Siege gameplay. Now today I wanted to talk about the new patch that came out today. Now I know I'm one of those people that always say it's very important that I actually get to play with the patch before I make my observations on it. Now of course I can't right now because at this time of the recording it's at night and at this time I'm in school, so I'll be getting proper footage of the new patch when it's out, and because I don't think anyone would have this game full gameplay of a patch at this time unless you stayed up all night and didn't have school the next day and or work. But you know, that college life is a struggle. So I want to talk about the patch, what you guys should expect to play today on Rainbow Six Siege when you guys hop on. And holy shit, there's a lot. So buckle up. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'll run through all the operator reworks, all the attachments, how this is changing the gameplay, and probably some of the new better setups for your guns and what you should be looking into. Let's get into it. Starting off with the man himself, Blackbeard. Oh my god, they nerfed him, boys. Boys, they reworked him. All right, we're not saying nerf. They reworked him. So the big two things is that his shield. Now, I know you're saying, Moose, that's only one, because Blackbeard now has two shields. Now, I know you just disliked this video and hung yourself, but it's okay. Bear with me. The rework that Blackbeard's under shield, reading this right off their site, is that the following changes are meant to be addressed in 2 points. Blackbeard now has 2 shields, and he can cycle through them with a Q system by equipping/unequipping them. So if you get shot with a shield, or you need one that has more health to go into a situation, you now can. Now, I know what you're saying, Moose, those things already had a lot of health. Here it comes. The HP of the shields has been reduced from 800. You heard me right. The shield's at 800 points of damage that they could eat up. They have now been reduced to 150. So technically, Blackbeard can now resist 100. No, he can now resist around 300 HP. Both of his shield levels, you got to rotate between both. Blah blah blah. All that good stuff. Shield's durability is also displayed on the UI, so you can see there's this little thing in the corner. When you're playing with Blackbeard today, of how much health your shield is left, and all this big shenanigans and awesome shit like that. Next up, we have the first French person. I don't want to say person because Twitch is a lady. We're going to talk about Doc. So Doc now has probably gotten a buff that everyone says he needed, and I think Ubisoft pretty much just ripped this right from what everyone would like to see. So, even though we've seen some great plays with him, Doc's stim pistol has felt too situational. I agree. If you're not down and not out, or you don't have Rook's armor, you're not going to get revived all that much. Doc can really just revive himself at times. To give Doc more than he's useful, in more variety of contexts, his darts have the ability to heal teammates, means this is much more versatile role for strategic situations. In the same way that Doc can revive himself from down and not out, Doc can also self-heal as well. Furthermore, he will now overheal, shooting a dart at a fully healed teammate or himself to provide a boost up to a maximum of 120 health for a limited time. The dart, they just put the heal, or the heal I guess makes sense too. The heal itself is 40 HP per dart. So even partially injured teammates can now be overhealed. This is an overheal that's only temporary and will decrease 1 health for every 2 seconds back into 100 points of health. So this can either be used in a very offensive and defensive situation now. Doc can just shoot a Rook in the back and run outside and just spray people down with a P90 because Rook's got his armor and now he's over health too. And now I'm going to talk about why I said a P90, or at least I think I mentioned a P90, because the P90 also received a little bit of love within today's, or they've re-looked at the P90 just to pretty much reduce its first shot recoil, and that's pretty much it. Just its recoil pattern has been reworked, which is good. The P90 did need some love. So that's Doc. Now let's go talk to the other French person, Twitch. So Twitch, her buff is nice. It's neat to say the least. I always view Twitch as a very useful operator. She was pretty much a Thatcher with wheels, as I thought. She'd get in there, shoot out shit you needed to. So the most notable change is she will now deploy fully functional shock drone in preparation phase, and then so that means in prep phase you now have a shock drone in place of a normal drone. This is a very significant change in the preparation phase. Once the match begins, Twitch's 2 normal drones now have been replaced with a second shock drone. Deploying the shock drone will not only destroy the first one if it survived the prep phase, which means that she will be able to switch between the prep phase shock drone and the deployed shock drone while cycling through her observation tools and activating it. In addition, these changes to the shock drone have been modified in the following ways. It now moves 30% faster. This puts it on par with normal drones. It creates less sound when moving. The red light is gone, and the range of the darts has now been increased to 7 meters from 5 meters. That's not bad at all. Twitch did need some love. Her weapons were fantastic as they were. Also, her 417 did receive a buff. I'm going to talk about the weapons and attachment just in a little bit here. So I just want to wrap up the operators. But yeah, that's a big buff to Twitch. Now, I don't know if you can use the shock drone in prep phase. I'm assuming not, because that'd be really stupid, because then that'd just make Mute, Bandit, and Jaeger completely obsolete. I mean, obviously, if you can get to them. This also does require more, you want to save your drone as much as you can, so you don't want to just jihad spam and get as many points as you possibly want. You actually have to go, okay, I'm going to peek through this hole, I'm not going to go in, I'm going to tiptoe around, blah, blah, blah. You know, you're going to really want to pay attention to what's going on and don't want to waste your drones, because shock drones are nice, and it doesn't say anything about changing their ammo capacity, so it's still like 15 tases, which is good. Like, that's a lot of tasering you can do. You know, that's even as a new lethality to her. Speaking of lethality, ladies and gentlemen, Claymores are now available for the attackers. That's right. So, in this little GIF that they have going on here, GIF, whatever you want to call it, they have Twitch deploying a Claymore behind her on house, looking over where that big room is up top, and then she moves towards construction to pick up a bomb. And then so an enemy jumps out the window to go take her out and flank her, but he can't now because there is a Claymore guarding her. Now, this is extremely useful when you get to the objective. This doesn't fix the issue of spawn peeking and spawn killing. That they need to address in their own by fixing the maps, making it so that the attackers just can't get bumfucked as soon as they come out. Put the siege back in Rainbow Six. Thank you, Matimio. So, let's see. Who gets the Claymores? So, Thatcher loses his stun grenades, gains a Claymore. Twitch loses a stun grenade, gains a Claymore. Here's one that I don't think... See, this is one that I don't think needs it. Glaz loses his breach charge and gains a Claymore. I don't understand that. Glaz is meant to play far away. Like, maybe I'm not looking at this right, and maybe he puts one down and can shoot into a certain area. But I feel like Glaz is always meant to stay farther back. Unless he runs up the area, drops a Claymore, then leaves, it seems kind of silly. Now, obviously, Claymore seemed like a really, really strong counter to flankers or roamers, because the popular roam routes that people would used to use, all the attackers now have to do, instead of having to rely on your dumb teammate that won't cover your back, you can just freely drop a Claymore behind you, and then, boop, look at that. Someone can just come behind you, and they're not paying attention, they're out. So, that's pretty neat in itself alone. Lastly, Thermite loses his stun grenades and breach charges to gain smoke grenades and Claymores. Wow. I don't know if I agree with that or not. At least the smokes for breaching charges. But they said since Thermite is probably the most support-oriented attacker right now, we believe smoke grenades will fit this playstyle better than stun grenades. I don't... Yeah. You know, I don't know. It's hard to think, because Thermite, as a player, most walls that Thermite engage on are outside, right? So a Claymore for him doesn't seem that useful for the most part. But smoke grenades, okay, sure, they're trying to bring more into the game, I understand. Maybe they're trying to, fix that. But there's also the issue where the smoke grenades don't, reflect properly with what you and the enemy are seeing. So there's that. I don't know if they fixed that or not, but regardless or not, that's interesting. I don't know how I feel about that, but Thermite is known for his exothermite charges. Moving on to defenders. Mother of God, we now have impact grenades. Yeah, you heard me right. There's now impact grenades for the defenders. Now, before you get your knickers in a twist, this is the description of them. Select defenders now have access to the impact grenade. The grenade exploding on impact or 1 second after throwing it. Perfect for close range firefights when things go south. it can be open up holes in the environment. Impact grenades distribution. We have distributed impact grenades to with two things in mind: reducing the overall amount of nitro cells among defenders and adding more active options to defenders who mostly use their unique abilities during the preparation phase. Caveira now loses her nitro cell in replace for impact grenades. Castle loses barbed wire in replacement for impact grenades. Smoke loses his nitro cell in replace of impact grenades. Rook loses his barbed wire in replace for impact grenades. You just gave a tank cannon. Way to go, Ubisoft. Now, it doesn't state that I'm assuming if I smack you with the impact grenade, it's going to kill you. Now, I'm going to do some testing in this in probably tomorrow's video. I'll probably have Thunder sit down with me or get someone. I don't know who. I'm going to need someone's help. Maybe someone in the comment section. If you guys have me on Xbox, I might be calling on you guys for some help. But I'm going to be testing out these impact grenades to see what the fuck's going on. Because holy balls, that this sounds really, really overpowered. Or it really doesn't. Now, I don't know the blast radius. It's nothing stated here. So this could be really aight or it could be really meh. To give you a general idea, the hole that they create in the wall is a little bit smaller than Sledge's smash into a wall. So think of it as like what Buck used to be able to do with a shotgun a couple patches ago. It's almost like that, except an explosion. So, yeah, that happened. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the new attachments. Holy balls. I know, I'm excited too. I can just feel my excitement as I'm recording this at like 12 a.m. in the morning and didn't realize how big this patch was. Oh my god, it's only 11. I have so much time on my hands. Just look at that. So, the first attachment I want to talk about is probably the attachment that everyone is going to start gravitating towards, and that is the Muzzle Brake. This attachment diminishes first shot recoil, putting emphasis on precision. Siege, please, what are you doing? Now, I know you're thinking, Moose, you haven't told us what guns can be put on it. Well, once you start understanding what guns can now have this, you're going to understand why. The G36 also in this patch has received less first shot recoil on top of this new gadget that diminishes first shot recoil. Now, this is completely situational up to the user idea, but if you hear some of these guns that I'm going to bring up, you're going to understand why I'm going holy balls, it's impressive. Now, if you guys haven't seen, I also made a video on compensators versus flash hiders. I personally enjoy flash hiders more because I know the compensator does increase the first shot recoil. So this is pretty much an compensator, which I am okay with, but I would just maybe enjoy to see. It's very situational for this Muzzle Brake. So anyways, let's talk about the weapons here. The Muzzle Brake, as I said, diminishes first shot recoil, which means that the G36, the R4, the MP7, the SR25, the C8, the Claymores, the UMP45, the MP5, the P90, the AK-12, Glaz's sniper rifle, the 5.52 Commando, the 416C, the 19x19 SMG, the MP5, the FMG9, the AR-33, the L85A2, the 5.56 X1, that's Thermite's assault rifle, the FAMAS, the 417, and the MPX now have an attachment that diminishes first shot recoil. Siege, please. So I don't know what to think about that. The Muzzle Brake just seems absolutely batshit crazy. Now let's talk about the heavy barrel. The heavy barrel, with this barrel equipped, so with this barrel attachment, damage at long distance doesn't decrease as much, in a trade-off for extra recoil. This means that there's less fall-off damage, which will vary per weapon, but around 10 to 20% damage increase at long ranges. Siege, I just went over how we don't need more spawn camping. So you're gonna put this thing on the 416, the Beretta M12. I'm assuming that's Caveira's Caveira's SMG. Then you have Buck's assault rifle, the MAC-10, the P90, the Para 308, the R4, the 9mm CM, which is Frost SMG, the UMP45, and the Scar H. So by the looks of it, they're trying to increase the recoil of these guns because they want more damage. But in trade-off, first the trade-off is the extra recoil, and you get 10 to 20% damage increase at long ranges. So if a Jaeger doesn't have an ACOG on, and I don't know how much the grip will actually compensate for this extra recoil, that's extremely powerful, and I don't know how I feel about that. I really do prefer the Muzzle Brake because I like my accuracy. But when I test and play around with this heavy barrel, that is going to be something for the ages, and I'm really interested to see if this heavy barrel breaks the game or actually has a good amount of what do you call it, or actually has like a good amount of recoil and compensates itself out. So a couple other things. Valkyrie now has 3 Blackout cameras from 4. IQ and Montagna will now be able to deploy and undeploy their unique gadgets faster. So that means IQ will put away her scanner, and Mountain Dew over there will put away his shield faster as well. Other than that, they've also done some damage reworks. There's just a ton of guns that they've redone. I would be here forever, guys, if I was going to record it. This video is already 15 minutes long. As you've also seen, there's some new gun weapon balances that I've left up throughout the video. Some big ones like DMR buffs, LMG buffs, SMG buffs. The MP5K is receiving some love. And then they're cracking down team killing too. I'll leave the patch notes down below, but these were the big things that are happening, ladies and gentlemen. Holy hell, Siege, I don't know what you're trying to do. Fix your servers before you put Claymores and Impact Grenades in my game. I don't know. I'm looking forward to this. I can't wait for the patch to come out today. Well, it's out today. I'm at school. Once I get home, I'll get gameplay event. I'm going to do videos on each of these topics themselves. So make sure you guys subscribe. Make sure you guys stay tuned. And yeah, without further ado, I'm the Dangerous, and I'll see you sexy beasts in the next episode. Peace.